Hey guys and girls, Wager Detective here. I'm going to get this date right. Okay, so it is May 7th, 2026. We're capping here from Caesars Casino in Atlantic City. 8:50 a.m. in the morning. I'm sitting in the Starbucks at the entrance as soon as you walk in to give you a little visual. The games I got highlighted here. So this is going to be the Twins versus the Nationals surface level cap. Wager Detective is going to do today for this game. And the games I have highlighted here, these are the last games of a road trip where the game is a day game, okay? So they lost 6-8, beat the Royals 5-1, beat Toronto 8-2, and then their last road day game end of series was against Tampa Bay. They lost 2-4, and then as you see there, they lost yesterday 2-5, 2-15, excuse me, to the Nationals. Now, if we look at this team, we're not really impressed. I mean, I know that we're 5 games below 500 here, and it's not necessarily something that is appealing for a team like that, but they have been hitting the ball pretty well. Byron Buxton's been hitting the ball well, but if you look at these patches of games that they've gone on losing streaks, look, 4 in a row they lost there, and then they lost 5 in a row between the Mets and Tampa Bay Rays, and then been alternating, a couple wins, a couple losses here and there. Over their last 10 games, 0-1, 2-1, 2-3, 3-3, 3-4, 3-5, 4-5. They're 4-6 over their last 10 games. And if we look at the runs scored to runs against, 13, 23, 24, 27, 31, 35, 46, 48. They're scoring 4.8 runs per game over their last 10. And their opponents, 8, 15, 20, 21, 28, 39, 42, 45, 60. So their opponents are scoring 6 runs a game over their last 10 games. So as we're here, you're going to hear some music in the background. Maybe that'll give the cap a little bit of a vibe. I'm feeling the vibe. So again, as much as Minnesota's scoring, their opponents are scoring a lot more. And they were against the opponents of the likes of Seattle, Toronto, and Washington. Washington being the one that really just took it to their pitchers in the last 10. And then you look at the Toronto game, who I'm not impressed with that Toronto lineup. So if they're scoring 18 runs on you in 2 games, as you've seen there, 21 runs in a 3-game series against Toronto, who I don't find to be an explosive team with the bats. I seen that yesterday when they played. So really concerning. We know historically from other caps that I've done that Minnesota does not play well at Washington. So right off the bat, I'm leaning towards the Washington Nationals. If we take a look here and look at the preview for this game, we're going to see who's on the mound here. It is Simeon Woods Richardson. He is 0-5 in his last 7 starts. And then if we go to the no decision here, he does get the no decision against the Mets. Twins do win that game. So if you look at that, he's given up 25 runs in his last 7 starts on 47 inning pitched, 6.49 ERA, not real good. And if we look at Washington, he had a game against them a couple years ago. He did beat them 3-2 in Washington. It was a day game, as you see there, okay? And I'm not impressed with this guy. I never really have been. He does have 14 walks in his last 7 games, so he's given up 2 walks a game over his last 7. And his last game was on the 1st, so 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. He's going to be on 5 days rest here with 88 pitches. And we look over this last 7 starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 4 days rest, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So here on the 5-day rest against the Mets, he did give up only 3 earned runs there. Okay, so even on 5 days rest, 95, coming off a 92 pitch game on 5 days rest, here he's going to have 88. So just off that alone, we could be looking at under here. He might come out sharp. You really don't want to necessarily fade a pitcher just because they're 0-5 in their last 5 and only won 1 out of their team only won 1 out of their last 6 starts. You really want to kind of not do that. But what I'm doing here, not a lot of the public is going to know about. Not many people are doing this. I'm not even doing a deep dive. If I was doing a deep dive, I'd be going into what he's doing on his last 10 games on the road on 5 days rest, and what's he do after a loss and a win. This is just a surface level cap, but I would even say 50% of the cappers out there aren't even doing it. Now, if you're talking about sharps like Wager Detective, you're doing a deep dive that most people aren't even doing. This is a surface level cap. It's rudimentary what I'm doing right here, just to give you an idea on how to cap games at a surface level if you want to get better marginally, and if you want to really learn what Wager Detective is doing, get with him, DM him, Twitter, Wager Detective University, you name it. Show you how to really cap a game, but this is, again, surface level. So we look at that. And then we look at the last 10 between these two teams. Okay, they're 1-1 this year, but look at Washington. 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 5-3, 5-4. Washington 6-4 in the last 10. Okay, times these two teams have played. And if we look at the over-under, let's take a look here. The over-under is 9. So over the last 10, 1 over, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 4-3 push, 5-3, 6-3, and 1 push over the last 10 to the over 9. We see how this guy's pitching, right? Simeon Woods Richardson, he's not pitching great, 6.49, but don't be deceived by that, because again, his last time he had a 5-day rest against the Mets here, he, let's see what he did. Take a look at the pitching. Richardson, 3 earned runs, a home run, faced 22 batters, 95 pitches, pretty good strike to pitch to strike count, right? And ground balls, look at that, 14 fly balls, so that is to be highlighted. We look at the guy, 14 fly balls in that last outing on 2 line drives. You can say what you want about this Nationals team, man. They got hitters in that lineup, young guys. They could flip a game on its head. So we look at that. I want to keep this cap short. I know people got, not short attention spans, but they don't want to really be tied into, the hemming and hauling. So we look at this guy, Jake Irvin. Look at him, 23-38, and look at him. His team is 2-3 in his last 5 starts. Last start on the first against Milwaukee. They beat Chicago. He lost to Atlanta. Lost to Pittsburgh in a tight game. Beat Milwaukee. He's pitched against some reputable opponents over his last 5 games. He's given up 5, 8, 11 earned runs over 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. 11 earned runs over 30. So if we get the trusty calculator, we do the math there. 11 times 9. 3.96 ERA. Okay, over his last 5 starts. So that's considerably better than Simeon Woods Richardson, right? Who has a 6.49 ERA. So, with that said, he's pitched against pretty tough competition over his last 5, as we said. In the losses, Milwaukee, tough. Atlanta, we know that, tough. Pittsburgh, not so tough. You only lost by 2. You got no run support. And he is on what? So last pitch on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. He's on 5 days rest. So 21, 22, 23, 24. So he hasn't had that. His last game was against Milwaukee on 5 days rest, and he lost. That was at home. So is he going to pitch better at home now? He lost at home on 5 days rest against Milwaukee. Now he's got to go another 5 days rest against a team who I don't find to be as tough, right? Milwaukee, better team than Minnesota. So we can chalk that up. He had 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 7 ground ball, 9 fly balls, okay? 5 line drives that could get dangerous there. 98 pitches, right? So him and Woods Richardson are going to be coming in off of 5 days rest, not a lot of pitches, right? Both pitchers coming off, teams coming off of a loss. Okay, so we got that done. Now we look at what else do we want to look at here? Let's take a look at the Nationals, see what they've done recently, schedule-wise. Okay. All right, win, loss, win, 2 losses, 2 wins, loss, 2 wins, 3 losses, win, loss, win, couple losses. Now, if you see here, they haven't had the patches like the Twins have had in losses. They had this one patch here, whereas Minnesota had a couple different patches of losses where they, it stretched into 3, 4, 5 games. So they're playing a little bit better, getting their footing. Let's take a look at what they have done during day games at home this year. Okay. And we look at this. Okay, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, 2-7. So they are 2-7 at home this year during day games. We look at the competition. Dodgers, okay, respectable. St. Louis, bats are swinging well over there. Giants win-loss, not as respectable. Gave up 7 in one of those games, but you blanked them in the next game. Atlanta, formidable team, and then Milwaukee. You could say the 2-7 home record, bad, but against tougher competition, other than the Giants series, where they lost games. Dodgers world champs, still respectable. Look at the runs you put up, and look at what he gives up. Simeon Woods Richardson. I mean, if we look at it, guys, if I'm looking at this cap, I'm going to cut this short. I got a feel for the game. I got a kind of an understanding. And then when they lost to San Francisco in the day games, they made sure they closed off that series against a weaker team such as San Francisco with a win. I don't really believe that the Twins are that much better than the Giants, if at all. Marginally, maybe. Buxton swinging a hot bat. Irvin off of a team loss. Last time he pitched on 5 days rest at home. I don't see it happening here. I am going to call right now. Let's go to this right here. Nationals, -110. I like it there. I don't know if the game necessarily gets to 9. I think you might want to look at a first 5 under in this game. Matter of fact, let's take a look. I think the pitchers will get no love from the public and rudimentary capping from people that are looking to gamble. If we look at the first 5 and see what we have here. Okay, 5.5. Over 5.5, 1/3 minus. So 4.5 right now. You could get -102. Under 4.5. First 5 innings. I mean, I would lean under there. I don't think it gets to 6. I think you're comfortable there. I think both these pitchers come out and maybe have a good first 3 innings. Maybe things get a little wacky after that, but ultimately, Wager Detective is going to call the Washington Nationals to beat the Minnesota Twins today and close off this series with the Twins. This is Wager Detective. Follow me on Twitter. Set alerts there. Also, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. You can follow me there. And more than anything else in this whole wide world, guys, Wager Detective loves all his fans. I'm going to talk to you soon.